This is the Idiot Entrepreneur Podcast with
John
and Kelley,
where no one is smarter than you. We're all just a bunch of idiots figuring out business and life one day at a time. Welcome to another episode of Idiot Entrepreneur.
What's up, idiots?
What's going on, idiots?
Hello.
How's everybody doing?
Well, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, just another day in paradise.
Okay, yeah. Is it really paradise?
Oh, well, today it kind of felt like it. It was like 80 degrees outside.
It was, yeah. It was hot. Nasty.
Yeah, and humid as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from, considering it was like a couple days ago, it was 50 degrees.
Yeah, I know. I don't really like summer, actually.
You don't like summer?
No,
Why?
it's too hot.
Yeah, it's annoying.
And I don't like the clothes. I like fall fashion, winter, spring.
Yeah, for me, shorts and a t-shirt will do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, guys. Welcome to another episode. Actually, yeah, if you guys get value out of this podcast in any way, shape, or form, share the word. It really helps us out. Rate us on iTunes. Share it with a friend that could benefit. Like us, follow us on Instagram. I think you guys will get some value.
Okay, yeah, do it right now.
Share it.
Go.
All right, that really helps us out, guys. All right, so
We're going to
Kelley,
jump right into our topic today. Yeah.
Do you want to start off?
Sure, yeah. So today we are talking about show your value. Okay, and there are many ways in which value is important. Today we're talking about it from the employee side. So these are, how you as an employee can show your value and why that's important, why you should even care. As an employer, we notice value, very
Highly.
highly. So, and we certainly notice lack of value, and this is something is really a problem, honestly, I think, in the workforce. So we want to talk about it. We want to talk about why you need to care, and let's jump right in.
Okay, cool. Great intro.
Thanks.
All right, awesome. So like when you, by definition, value, literally the definition is, in this context, is the regard that something is held to deserve, the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. So, that sounds like a boring statement because it kind of is, but it's actually really important. So basically what that means, what we're trying to say is value is bringing something bringing value means bringing something to the table that is desired and considered by others as valuable.
That's a very important little caveat to considered by others as valuable, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I might do something that I think is super valuable, and
No
if
one
you don't
cares,
care about it, then it's not valuable. It's value is a matter of perception, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely perception, like Kelley was saying, and what is considered by the rest of the world is actually valuable. Great examples, for example. And here's an example.
And here's an example
of a great example. A skill that others lack. So let's say you know a specific language.
Such as yourself.
Yeah, actually, I know Arabic.
Yes, you do.
I do. Yeah, I speak it.
Nam.
I could keep going on, but I think we'll lose the audience.
Yeah.
So a specific language can be very valuable, considered very valuable. Hard work is very valuable.
Sort of.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Someone that's going out there doing the work and putting in the work. Unique skills, reliability, excellent communication skills, and even something like money, for another example, it would be considered valuable. So someone that has money that can help you do something in exchange for something.
Invest in
invest.
something.
Yeah. I mean, those are just some quick, rough examples of valuable skills.
Yeah. And it's actually one of our company core values is show your value. So core values, we'll get into that and the importance of that in it's another topic for another day. But one of our company core values is show your value. This is one of the first things that we harp on to potential employees and always to our existing employees. And what we mean by it is show us why we should pay you.
Yeah.
No, because
Yeah.
I guess we're obligated to pay, whatever. But
Right. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Show us what you're worth, why we should keep employing you, why we should give you a raise, why we should promote you. Show us, right? Because we have to show our clients, we have to show them why we're worth keeping as well. Because if they don't know what we're worth, they could very easily replace us. So that's the idea as an employee is showing your employer your value.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point.
Thank you.
Yeah, so showing your value. I think a lot of times, actually, I was this recently, like one of we heard through, I think it was through another employee that said they can't. Literally, one of our employees said that they can't fire us. They can't fire me rather um, because they need me. That's what they said, right? Like someone said that.
To us?
Yeah, we heard that through another employee. Like one person said, they can't fire us because they need me because I think that person had a vehicle or something stupid like that.
Okay.
Well, it's funny because when you hear that, the first thing you think is that's the best way to get fired is thinking that you're needed, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, too many people put way, way, way too much importance on their own value and what they think they're worth. But, you need to reconcile that with what your employer thinks you're worth. And quite frankly, most employers aren't going to think you are worth that much unless you're really going out of your way to
Yeah.
show your value. Because most employers have a lot of employees, and it's really they have other things going on. They're not thinking about you, so you really have to stand out. And most are easily replaceable, quite frankly. We have a really great team that we've worked hard to build. But that being said, if we need to replace somebody, we can do it. We know we
Phone
can
call.
get somebody
Yeah.
just as good or
Yeah.
better because we have a constant flow of great employees coming in and great candidates. So it's, you've got to have that competitive edge as an employee.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, if you just blend into with the crowd, you're never going to be considered valuable in any way, shape, or form, at least in your employer's eyes. So that means don't assume that your employer can't get rid of you because the reality is every job is replaceable.
Absolutely.
Every single job on the
Unless you're
planet.
bringing massive value.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have we heard that people said or heard people say this about other employers, which is, oh, I left because I didn't get a promotion. They just
Yeah.
didn't promote me. But you know what? If you didn't get promoted, there was a reason for that.
Yeah.
And of course, sometimes there's politics, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's possible. But more often than not, the reason is you did not stand out.
Mhm.
Or you are better, you're not as good as you think you are, frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, and you need to take the attitude not of, oh, they screwed me over, I'm out. Rather, point the finger at yourself and say, what could I have done better to show my value? And that also ties into our previous episode, right? Which is taking responsibility for your life, taking responsibility for yourself, and not blaming others.
Exactly. I mean, those are facts, guys. Those are 100% fact. It's not something that we're making up. That's just a fact. So why is it important to show your value? Right? That's a great question. I'm glad you asked.
Self.
Yeah, right. So without bringing value, you have nothing unique to offer an employer. You don't stand out from the rest. Basically, you're considered a sheep like everybody else. You don't really stand out in any way, shape, or form that makes you different than anyone else to gain any type of recognition as someone who's valued. Meaning you're going to be looked over.
Yeah, I mean, something that we've noticed, and this is just, I think, embedded in the culture, and it's really a shame, and a lot of people are going to suffer from it, for it, rather. But it's that, people think that by doing very, very basic adult things, such
Yeah.
as showing up for work on time, doing their job generally, not calling out, that they deserve raises and promotions. I'm
No.
sorry, but that is as basic as it gets. I'm not impressed if you
Yeah.
do that, because you are supposed to do that. That's called fulfilling your duty to your employer. Whenever you get hired, you agree you are going to do this, I'm going to pay you this, and that's how it's going to work. And of course, you're not required to do extra, but don't expect extra if you don't do extra. You
Oh yeah.
know, basically, again, these are just very adult, basic things, and the question is, what else can you offer? What can you do above and beyond those basic things?
I mean, that's called being a basic ass adult.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
same, for
it's like
our
brushing your
employees,
teeth.
right? Like
Yeah.
for people we hire, basic things. You got to have a phone. You got to, that
Yeah.
works, by
That
the way.
works, yeah.
You have to be able to have transportation to and from work. Just very simple adult things.
simple.
And if you can't handle it, you're screwed.
Yeah. I mean, the stuff we're mentioning is at a very basic level, but you'd be shocked, absolutely blown away, how many people actually can't do the basics of adulthood.
Or even think that they think that they deserve a freaking
Yeah,
medal for
I
doing
know.
just a basic crap. Like, and this goes from min-wage employees up to professional,
Yeah, high-paid
people with
six
degrees.
figures,
And
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not reserved for any social class or status. This is just something, across the board.
What's that to say is you don't get a medal for showing up.
Yeah, this isn't like, oh, if you try, you get a prize. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't work that
It
way.
doesn't work that way.
Right? And I mean, the employer-employee relationship is a very simple exchange of value for money, right? So you solve a problem for an employer by doing X, Y, or Z, that's your job, and the employer pays you for it, right? Now, that's really the end of that agreement. I
Yeah,
mean, and you're not
basically.
gonna you shouldn't expect more if that's all you're doing. If you're doing more things, the larger the problems that you can solve for your employer, the more money you're gonna make. And
Yep.
that's in life. Even forget employers, as a business. Solve large problems. If you want to make a lot of money, solve big problems. The bigger the problem you solve, the more money you're gonna make.
Yeah, do the work that nobody else wants to do or is willing to do, and there's a lot of money there. I can guarantee you that. In our industry, it's cleaning. Our business is involved with cleaning, commercial cleaning, cleaning businesses, other businesses. So nobody it's a service that's overlooked, but people are willing to pay money for it because they don't want to do it. They
Yeah.
will pay good money for it because they don't want to do it and they're not willing to do it. So we're providing a service for other people who are willing to pay money because it's an undesirable type of work. So if you're an employee, how do you leverage that? You do the work that's required by your employer and more than that, that's undesirable to do by other people, and you'll push yourself years ahead in front of the line.
Yeah, I mean, a quick little analogy I would make to what we do and sort of the employee side is, if all we did for a client was stick our hand in their toilet and then go home,
Yeah.
they wouldn't pay us very much, right?
Yeah,
Because that's
give
a
us
very
a
low
cent.
level problem,
Yeah.
not a big problem. And it's also just very like, what else are you doing for me, right?
Yeah.
So same with an employee. If all you're doing is just the very basics of your job, you're just going to get a very basic pay.
Yeah.
And as you should expect it. We have seen other companies and that act in this way. They do just basic stuff and they don't get paid a lot. We charge a lot higher rates than most other companies.
say
And guess what? We get those rates. Why? Because we provide so much more value. It's an entire service. We're solving problems for people that are greater than just, I'll stick my hand in your toilet for money.
Right.
We solve headaches. We make it hands off so they don't even have to think about it. We find issues before they find the issues. It's just a whole wide range of things that we're doing, which commands more money. And
Right.
as an employee, that's what you need to do if you want to make more.
Exactly. I mean, that's exactly true. The idea here is to do more than the basics. Go beyond the basics because the basics don't pay well. I mean, that's just a fact. The basics don't pay well.
Yeah.
I mean,
And if you want to start a business, think about that. Don't just
Yeah.
do the bare minimum. do more and you'll make more.
Oh, 100%. And people will recognize it too and applaud it. And they'll spread the word.
Yeah, they'll clap for you.
Yeah, literally.
So John, how can we bring value to the table? If I'm an employee, what are some ways that I can actually bring some value?
That's a great question. It's a loaded one too.
It is.
All right. So a couple points. The first one I would say is develop skills over time that bring real value. So let's say right now you're, I don't know, 18 years old and you're just learning how the world works. The best advice I would say is learn valuable skills. That could be communication. That could be leadership skills. It could be team building skills. It could be putting in hard work for long periods of time. That's a skill. Put in the mental, what am I looking for? Challenge yourself mentally to always work on a higher level than the average person. Make it a point to go above and beyond. Read books, listen to podcasts. All of those things will put you miles ahead of anyone that's 18 years old.
Yeah, I mean, just to hit on that point, you said going above and beyond. I mean, even if
it's
you're
another core value.
yeah, well, it is.
Yeah.
It's another core value because it's very important. I mean, even if you're just a cleaner, right? I mean, we have just again to use a familiar example, we have cleaners that will come in, they'll do their job, they'll go home, and obviously we appreciate the reliability and the consistency, but we're not like blown away by them. And then we have ones that literally get on their hands and knees underneath like a desk and scrub the walls. That's not even on their list of things to do. We didn't even ask them to do that, and they'll do it and they'll show us that they did it, and that is going above and beyond. They don't have to do that stuff, but we see it, and that's gonna get you somewhere.
100%. And those are the types of people that we've had in the past that we've promoted to supervision, even management, stuff like that. And they got paid more.
Yeah, and just also, just as an aside to this, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. That's like a law of life. So don't think that, I have a stupid job right now, and someday when I have a job I care about, I'm really going to put in the effort, because no, you won't.
Yeah.
If you won't put in effort for the crappy min-wage simple job, guaranteed you're not going to put in effort for the difficult high-level job. Why? Because this is going to be a habit that you've created. You've created a habit of just basic, nothing above and beyond, just providing the bare minimum.
Right. Excellent. That's a great point. I would say another way you can bring value to the table is showcasing those values to your employer and your coworkers. So, one example is in our company with commercial cleaning, we some of our employees will take.
Well, we require
photos of the work being done. And some employees will take 100 photos.
Literally. We have quite a few that will take 100 photos every single time they clean.
And that's amazing. And we only ask for 10. Some people will do 10 times that and do literally 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 photos every single day. And that is they're trying to show that, hey, I'm doing this beyond the basics. And some of them will even record a video and post that up and say, this is what I did. That's amazing. To me.
No, it is amazing. I mean, you're not always going to be in a situation, in a job where maybe you can take photos of your work. I mean, it's not always a
visual.
Yeah, exactly. But there's some way that you can let your boss, your coworkers know what you're doing. And we're not saying be an asshole, hey, look at me, what I did. But you really do need to come up with a creative way to show what you've done, because if you don't, guaranteed it will be looked over, and not necessarily on purpose, but because other people, they're not thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves and what they've got going on. They're not worried about what you're doing. So while maybe you realize it and you're like, man, I did this, I provided so much value, no one's going to see it unless it's like a tree falling in the woods. No one hears it, right? Is that?
Yeah.
Something
is
like
right? I think it's, a tree falling in the woods, no one hears. Is that right?
I don't know.
Something like that. But
Anyways,
you know what I'm talking about.
If something happens and no one notices, so you have to make them notice.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to look that one up.
I know what you're talking about.
Something about a tree.
Yeah, something about a
woods.
tree. A tree falling in the woods is silent. I think that's it. Is that it?
Is there another part to that?
Probably.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're proving
But
how dumb we
something
are.
a tree that falls, no one notices a tree falling in the woods because it doesn't make a noise, right?
Something like that.
That's
Yeah.
the gist of it. But
Right.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, thanks. At least you do. All right. So
um,
what else can we do to bring value to the table?
so another one is, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked. Is
Mhm.
recognize and capitalize the skills that you've built over time. Use them to your advantage within your organization every day. So let's say, for example, like you are really good at time management. Just one random example. Um, and you realize that you're getting your job done 2 hours faster at the end of the day than the person next to you. And they're doing a similar job, in the cubicle sitting next to you. One way to showcase your value is to ask the person sitting next to you and say, hey, I'm done with everything I need to do today. Instead of me clocking out and going home, what do you have? I can help you out with it. That's
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's a great example of leadership, time management, teamwork. Those are excellent examples of how you can help someone else and actually bring and show real value to a coworker. And then I would even go as far as going up to your boss and saying, "Hey, I finished all my tasks 2 hours ago, but I helped Joe right next to me with finishing his tasks, and we knocked out everything." Just make it recognize, tell someone that you did something extra.
Absolutely.
That's just one
Always. It
example.
feels awkward. It feels weird to tell somebody that you did something. You don't want to feel like you're bragging, but trust us, you
Yeah.
have to do it. It's a
Yeah.
requirement if you want it to be noticed, because otherwise people won't notice it. But yeah, that's a great example.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are real examples.
Yeah.
So I think another one would be building several skill sets through excellence, so you become the real deal. And that goes to educating yourself on how to build these skill sets. And anybody can do that. But you gotta be self-aware enough to realize that you need specific skill sets in order to succeed and become truly valuable, the real deal. So
Yeah.
education.
Oh yeah, totally. And there's so much free content out there. You have
Yeah.
absolutely no excuse to not do this, honestly, about
Yeah.
anything. I just, as an example, I recently was working on SEO, search engine optimization, if
That's a fancy
you
word.
are out there and you don't know what that is, but it's a really complicated subject. And recently I found some people on YouTube and some blogs that are just super, super comprehensive. And if I go through that, I'm gonna develop my skills so much further. And it's all free. I'm not
Yeah.
paying any money for this, merely giving up my own time and learning. And that skill set is gonna take me even further. And it's gonna allow me to do more stuff for our companies and our goals. And so, these are the things that you should do on your own time. No one's gonna force you or push you to do it but yourself. But they're the things that are really going to make you someone who can provide value.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, like Kelly is saying, there's no excuse. There's literally zero excuse. All information you pretty much need is available literally in your pocket, on a smartphone, on your tablet, on your computer. You have.
Not everyone has so many technology
I love
things such as
technology.
yourself,
That's,
John.
I know. That's a good
He's
point.
just bragging right now, basically. All I have is a little computer, and he's just looking at this massive stack of electronic devices.
I'm a tech nerd for everybody who doesn't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
and a
I-
regular nerd,
And I
honestly.
Yeah, right. I would say that's 100% true. Yeah, I'm a nerd, and I
Yep.
fully endorse it.
Yes, he does.
And I don't care what anyone thinks. I am a nerd. For everybody who doesn't know.
All right, the first admission right here.
Yeah, first and ever, last.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah. So back to our last point on how you can bring value to the table is really simple. Solve bigger problems equals make more money.
Yep.
How else would you put that?
No, I mean, we said it earlier. It's just it's very simple. A simple concept, right? It shouldn't be difficult to understand for anyone. If you want to make more, you have to do more. You have to be more valuable. And what do people have? They have problems that they need solved. And the level of problems you can solve are going to dictate how much you make, right? If all
Yeah.
I can do for you is flip a hamburger. How much is that worth to you? That's a small problem. If you're
Mid-wage,
hungry,
yeah.
I mean, if you're really, really hungry,
You're gonna pay more.
maybe you'll pay me like, I don't know, $20 for the hamburger, but really
Yeah.
how much could you pay me for that? You're not going to pay
Not
me
much.
$1 million for the hamburger.
No.
Right. So I'm capped at a certain level. I got to solve if I want to really get your money, then I have to solve a bigger problem. Maybe I need to make an app to sell my hamburgers on or something, or
Yeah,
or franchise my hamburger store.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a great one. Yeah, franchise your hamburger store and make it a national chain. Let's say you love flipping hamburgers, and you start doing it on the side, and you sell a better hamburger for a cheaper price than the place that you worked at. Guess what happens? Now you have a business. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
But if
you're
you
actually solving a
if you
problem.
want more business, you got to take it to the next level and the next level. It's just it's the
Yeah.
same whether you're an employee, whether you own a business, whether you're starting a business. It's all the same.
Yeah, 100%. It's full circle, really. So what's the goal here, Kelly?
The goal, John, is to become irreplaceable. So that means you bring so much value that you are a true asset to the company, or to whatever you're doing, an asset to your clients, an asset to your customers. And that is when the doors for even greater opportunity will open for you, for sure.
That's it in a nutshell. Is basically become someone that is not easily replaced in any way, shape, or form. Meaning that you are truly part of some sort of organization, whether it's your employer, I don't know, church, whatever it may be. That no one can say, so and so, he ain't doing much.
Or who's that?
Yeah, or who's that? Yeah,
That's even worse.
yeah, exactly. Like, who the
Yeah,
hell
be
is
that person that they say, they're making cuts to their labor force and they say, oh, not that person. No way. Can't cut them. I don't care. We'll spend extra for them. We'll take a hit. Not like a...
like smoking a joint.
Yeah, smoking a joint. But just be that person that they just absolutely never want to get rid of. That when the day you say you put in your resignation, they cry. Like they beg you to stay. Like you got to be that. And it's not really that hard to be that, frankly, because not many people are that. Not many people try to be or care to be, know how to be. So it's very easy. You have very low competition. So just put in some effort, and I guarantee you'll be way ahead of the rest of the pack.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like most people are not that. If you want to truly stand out, become that person, which is not hard. Like Kelley was saying, it's not. I mean, if you literally just spend some time and effort and to become truly valuable by going above and beyond, you will become, a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, it's a good way to end that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, so
I think it's time
for the idiot fact of the day. I love that part.
Yeah. So we have a idiot. Well, actually, it's not really a fact today. It's more of a quote.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there are these quotes, very hilarious ones. Actually, I ended up going down the rabbit hole and reading like a million of these, but they're called Bush-isms, which if you don't know what that is, it's things that President George W. Bush said that were really funny and or stupid or both.
Yeah, that's not the, not to interrupt here, but it's not the first Bush. That's a second Bush.
George W.
George W., which just in case people don't know.
Yeah.
That's like that's a George Bush Sr.
Little Bush.
Little Bush.
Small Bush.
Small Bush.
Yeah, but anyways, so these Bush-isms are hilarious, and really all it, whatever you think of him or thought of him, a lot of people thought he was stupid. I feel like he probably wasn't stupid. Obviously, if you get to be the president, you're not that stupid.
Yeah,
but just kind of the further proves our idiot thing. If this guy can be the president, so can anyone. So yeah, you want to say the quote, John?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
So George W. Bush once said, quote, "There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that fools fool me once."
Oh, wait, you said it wrong.
Oh, God damn it. I'm the freaking idiot.
Yeah.
I freaking...
You made it even more confusing. All right, try again.
All right, I'm going to try again.
Maybe the accent threw you off.
Yeah, I think the accent did.
Okay. What type of accent was that, by the way?
I think it was like a Southern Georgian peach.
A Georgia peach?
accent.
Okay.
All right.
All right, try again.
I don't know where that came from, but all right. So George W. Bush once said, "Quote: There's an old saying in Tennessee. I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, 'Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't get fooled again.'"
What?
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, if you're confused by that, so are we. That's literally what the quote was.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, I think he just
I think he had like a brain
stroke
interruption.
while he was
Yeah,
talking.
I know. He either had a stroke or was like, I don't know, he was like daydreaming, knew what he wanted to say, but then just totally screwed it up.
Yeah, I think he forgot what it was midway through, which we certainly are guilty of.
I know
times,
I know
but-
that shit happens to me a lot.
Yeah, but he is guilty of saying dumb things quite often.
Yeah, and actually, a lot of the Bushisms, a lot of them, if you look at them, a lot of them look when he says a lot of things, it's almost as if it's like a bad Chinese to English translation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like those
where
instruction books, like the instruction books that say, step 1.
it's like tighten the screw and your family will eat forever.
Yeah. Something stupid, yeah.
Bizarre.
Like really strange shit. And that's a lot of what he says, but
Yeah. If you really want to get a good laugh, I would look up Bushisms and you can just read them.
it'll blow you away.
Yeah, but anyways, just to, we feel like that really shows that kind of goes with our idiot theme, right?
Yeah, idiot fact of the day.
That's right.
It's even though it's not a fact, it's kind of a fact
It's a fact that he said it.
that he said it. Yeah, it's a fact that he said that.
and was an idiot.
He was an idiot, yeah. All right.
All right, guys. So yeah, that's our show today. Just reminding you, bring value. Okay, if you want to get somewhere in life, regardless of where you're trying to go, bringing value is what's going to help propel you there. And people who bring value have a lot of other traits that are going to get them success in life. But make sure you just, spend time learning, spend time putting in effort, find out what kind of problems people have. If you have an employer, what problems do they have other than your basic job description that you do? What other problems did they have that you could solve for them? And trust us, if you were to go approach an employer and say that, ask them, what other problems can I solve from you?
They'll love you.
They will be blown away. Like you're going to rocket to the top of that company because not many people, if anyone, will do that. So
Yeah, well put, well said.
thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be the first person that's top of mind all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 1,000% true. Don't be someone who can be replaced. That's the bottom line.
Absolutely. Okay, so that's all we got. Make sure you like it, share it.
Subscribe. Tell someone who can get some value out of it.
Yep, and we will see you next time.
All right, later, guys.
Bye.
Peace.